Harbor Freight has just released their brand new Gants branded polishing pads. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about what available sizes they come in, the pricing, just an overall general look at them, and then we're gonna be comparing them to some of my other favorite polishing pads that I've always used, the Rupes pads and the Koch Chemie pads. We'll put them on the panel. I'm actually gonna color sand a section of it so we can see how well these things work. All right, guys, so right next to me, I have a good selection of the pads that they have to offer. Now, we're gonna talk about what I guess cutting series they come in. So we have, let's start with the most aggressive, or different. So we have a microfiber heavy cut medium finish pad. Then we go into their regular foam pads. We have a blue compounding foam pad. This is gonna be your heaviest cut. And this is medium cut, medium finish as far as the foams go. Then we can move into the yellow pad, okay? The yellow pad is going to be your low cut, high finish. This is your typical polishing style pad. And then we go into our ultra finish finishing pads, a fine cut and ultra high finish on that one. Now, all of these are gonna be coming in 3-inch pads, which I think is awesome. And the 3-inch come in a 2-pack, at least for all the foam. I think the microfiber might be a 1-pack. I'm not 100% sure. But for the foams, it's a 2-pack, coming in at approximately $8.99. I believe it's $9 for those. And then on the 5-inch, and the 6-inch, they came in for $1 more. So like 10 bucks, $9.99 or something like that for all of them, including the microfiber one. So again, I'm very excited about this. Let's just go ahead and pop one open and start inspecting these things and kind of seeing overall build quality of these units. All right, guys, now as far as the quality of these pads, again, we haven't opened it yet, but it does state European foam, which is really well known for being high quality foam, right, within the detailing industry. With this, though, I am concerned because usually the Harbor Freight Gants lineup of products is like insanely priced. These are good prices, don't get me wrong, but you know, at $10 a pad, we're in that Rupes range, right? For the Rupes DA pads, the blue, the yellow, and the white. Those you can get between 10 and 12 bucks. So that is these guys right here in these bags, right? And then they have the new teal one as well, which is kind of their more all-in-one, but again, right around that same price. Additionally, we have the Koch Chemie pads. Now, this is their current pad that's out. They have new ones coming out where I believe it's the purple is coming in 2 different densities for depending on if you're working on harder or softer paint. So really cool. But these things are fantastic. These things are around 15 bucks a unit. And you may be wondering like, hey, why would I buy a $15 pad over a $10 pad or $12 pad or whatever else? For me personally, I do see myself getting a bit more use out of these Koch Chemie pads. I don't know what it is about the structure of the pad, but I'm able to clean them out and get usually another car out of them compared to some of the others. But again, that just may be the way I polish, so I don't know that for sure. All right, and I am happy to announce the beginning of my annual 12 days of Christmas, 12 days of holiday giveaways, whatever you celebrate. For this giveaway, I'm gonna do something a little bit different this year. We're gonna do the normal giveaway. I'll put packs together, but I also wanna promote some stuff on my website. So if you can enter for your chance to win, but I will have sort of a special kit that relates to the giveaway on sale, a special price on my website. So if you're worried about not winning, then you can just go buy it there at a discounted rate. But for today's giveaway, this is gonna be the giveaway. We're starting off with a Max Shine M312. This is their 3-inch polisher. And then I will also be including one pack of each of the 3-inch pads from the Gants lineup here. So really cool giveaway. I don't know what the value of that is. Let's see, this is about just shy of 30 bucks. The M312, I can't remember the price, but it's probably $150, $200 value here. So in order to win, guys, just make sure you comment down below on this video, share this video with somebody, and then also go onto my Instagram for an extra chance to win. I'll just accumulate all things, right? So if you share it, if you comment, and if you comment on the Instagram, that's 3 chances to win. So you'll be entered into the pool, and then we'll choose a winner on the following day of the Christmas giveaways. Again, today's a little bit early. I usually start this on the, 8th or 10th. I'm gonna start it officially on the 8th, so the winner will be announced on the 9th, and then we'll also talk about on our next giveaway. And for the deal on my website, guys, dtlrsupply.com, I'm gonna be doing 20% off of pads and polishes that I have in stock. So I've always talked about the Meguiar's polishes that I love in the past. I've been using Koch Chemie's lineup of polishes recently, and they are unreal. They barely dust. Like if you overwork the product, of course it's gonna dust, but they barely dust. They have extremely good work times, easy to wipe off. I absolutely love them. So definitely check those out. You can get them in either a 250 milliliter size or a 1 liter. I only stock them in the 250 currently. I will be getting some 1 liters in, but definitely check those out. The code will be polish. Yeah, code polish, 20% off the polishing items on my site. All right, now let's get back to this, these new Gants polishing pads. All right, guys, so to compare these things, we're gonna open up each of the packs of the Gants, the Rupes, and the Koch Chemie, and we're gonna compare them side by side. All right, guys, so we have all the pads laid out here, except for the microfiber pad, which I will open. Oh, my goodness, wait a second. Guys, huge announcement here. The microfiber pads, even the 5-inch, is actually a 2-pack. So very, very cool there as well. That's awesome. Pretty thin kind of foam backing on there, but I have no problem with that, especially for a heavier cut. That's totally fine. So really cool. Now, I will test these out, but we're not gonna be comparing them side by side because I don't have any other microfiber pads here. Okay, so right off the bat, guys, this row here is going to be your new Gants series of pads. This middle here is the Rupes pads, they're DA pads, and then back here is the Koch Chemie. Now, as you can see, Gants is color-coded. Blue is your heavy cut, yellow is your polish, black is your finish. Same thing for the Rupes. Blue is cut, yellow is polish, white is finish. And then on the Koch Chemie side, there's a slight variance to the pads, but not a lot. But on the back of the pad, you have red, which is your heavy cut, also matches with their H902 compound. Then we have yellow, and that's their polishing. It matches, I think it's F602, F601, whatever their polishing compound is. And then finally, the finishing is the purple. So you do have all your color coding with the Koch Chemie pads as well. Now let's look at the overall structure of each pad. Doesn't matter which one, we're just gonna start with the middle, the yellow polishing pads. So the Koch Chemie, now again, they did come out with an updated one that has a more rolled edge, also has 2 densities for the purple, but I absolutely love these ones. They are fantastic. As you can see, it does have a sharper edge here, okay? But it does have this little cutout, so it rolls very, very easily, okay? So one of the benefits of having a rolled edge is it does kind of get into edges of your paintwork a little bit better. It just helps to wrap it versus this can dig into it. But because they have this cutout, I haven't had any issues. It just rolls over and nicely into the areas that I need. As you can see, the density is really, really nice. Or I guess that's really more of a feel thing, but I'm telling you it is, in my personal opinion. The Velcro on the backing goes all the way up to the side. Very, very strong backing plate. I haven't had any issues of failure with this where this heats up and then it wants to separate. Fantastic, fantastic pads. Like I said, I get a little more life out of these personally than I do with the Rupes pads. Moving on to the Rupes pad though. Now this one does have a bit more of a rolled edge and it is still contoured out. So this does fold over as well. Really nice pads here, guys. Again, can't recommend any of these over another. I mean, the only reason I would recommend the Koch Chemie ones over any of the others is because cost effectively wise, I do get more done with these. They are more expensive, but it all kind of evens out and these do work phenomenally well. Okay, back to the Rupes pad. Also, the Velcro backing on the back is fantastic. It also states DA fine. This is their fine pad, not their finishing pad, not their cutting pad. Obviously, the blue one says DA coarse, yellow is DA fine, and white is DA ultra fine. Okay, same construction across those, and now let's move into the Gants pads, and I have to tell you guys, they feel very similar to me to another brand, which we'll talk about. Again, I don't know where these are manufactured. I have no idea. They just feel very similar. So let's grab the yellow pad here from, this is the Gants lineup. Again, nice, pretty rolled edge, a little bit harder, but it has a rolled edge and kind of tapers. So we'll hold it this way so you guys can see. So bevels out, goes up, and then comes over. You still have that nice roll. The Velcro backing is nice as well. It doesn't seem like it's gonna have any issues. I don't know that yet, but we'll see how that goes. On top of knowing that the yellow is polishing, it also does state Gants polishing on the back. Same thing, you know, for the blue, it says Gants compound, and for the black, Gants finishing. Now when we compare the overall height of all these pads, as you can see, the Gants on the left, the Rupes in the middle there, same height, and then the Rupes and the Koch Chemie essentially same height. So all the same pretty much overall thickness on these pads. So all of these are going to be a 5-inch backing. The Velcro piece on the back meant to fit a 5-inch backing plate for your polisher. That's why it's a 5-inch pad. However, because the Rupes flares out more than the others, the overall surface here is 6 inches. Okay, so you have a 6-inch face with a 5-inch back. The Gants, again, let me just double check the back here. Yep, 5-inch exactly. And a little over, I'd say 5 and, man, what is that? 5 5/8? Something like that, I would say. 5 5/8. So slightly smaller. And then we'll go to the Koch Chemie pad. The back of it is 5 inches. The front of it is going to be barely over 5 inches. We're 5 1/4. 5 1/4 inches of actual surface area when you're polishing on the Koch Chemie pad. Now, as I said, I feel something very similar about these Gants pads to another. And guys, it's straight up side by side right here to the Rupes pad. When you squeeze them, let me see if you can see the rebound on them. Squeeze, let go. The Rupes is taking a little bit longer there, but I might have just squeezed that harder. Let's see, let's move it over to the new spot. I'll try and be consistent. Yeah, it's really hard to do, but there are the marks and out at the same time. The consistency of the foam, even the openness of the foam, is playing a little bit of a trick on me. The Gants one looks like it's a slightly more open cell foam, but it might just be the color. Overall, they're very, very similar when it comes to that. Now, when you compare that to, these are the blue ones. Let's compare that to the red, which is the cutting pad from Koch Chemie. It feels, the Koch Chemie one feels like the cell structure of the foam is even more open to me. Again, this is anecdotal, guys. Please keep that in mind. We're gonna squeeze them. And here, I'm gonna try and give it a good squeeze, okay? The Koch Chemie comes back much, much faster. Much faster rebound. You can still see the impression there on the Rupes pad. Again, it's all preference. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. I don't know, but I do know that with the open cell structure, it does help to disperse the compound a little bit better, where you can just put your initial drops here. As it's working, that centrifugal force will help to push the polish out to the edges. So that is nice. And again, I do love these pads. So outside of that, though, I don't know if one's better than the other for all those reasons. It's going to come down to preference, but this video is to highlight these new Gants ones and really talk about where I think they fit. Now, as far as the packaging goes on these, I think it's fantastic. However, one note that I would make to the guys at Harbor Freight is that when you look at a comparable packaging from Rupes, right? It's a completely sealed bag, right? I had to rip that open. When we go to the Koch Chemie ones, it's a completely sealed box, right? Cool. When we go to the Gants, it has this cutout, and I get it. I understand they're a retail company, and people may want to come up and feel that and all that kind of stuff. However, that does give you the opportunity of getting some unwanted particulates into that foam pad, and then you put it on your car. So just keep that in mind. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, honestly. But if it was my choice, I would have had this just fully locked in. All right, guys, so now we're going to go ahead and get into testing out these pads, just seeing how they feel, what they can cut out. For that, we're going to be color sanding this back section of the trunk lid of my 1969 Ford Fairlane. The paint is not perfect on this. If you look, here's a little bit of rust anyway. The paint was never perfect since I bought it. And it came done as is. I polished it out to make it look good, but there are some nibs and stuff in that, random things in the paint. So in order to sand this, we're going to be using this. And this is a newer item to me. I didn't know that they had this. Did you guys know that Harbor Freight now has their Hercules lineup of automotive grade finish sandpaper? So this is a 2000 grit. So they have like 1000, 1200, 15, 2000. So really cool. I like that. Again, I'm not saying it's the best quality. I haven't gone that deep. There's really, really high-end sanding discs and things like that for the automotive industry. But if you're in a pinch, this could work well. So we're gonna go with this and kind of test it out and see how it goes. So I'm just gonna go get some water, let this soak a little bit, and then we're just gonna compound this little section, or no, sand down this little section. All right, guys, so hopefully you can see this okay. You should be able to see a little bit of differentiation between this section to this section, but I'm gonna go and hop on my cell phone here so I can show you guys up close. It has been sanded down so we can see the good difference. So here is the one side that has not been sanded. Again, so you can see it's not perfect, right? But the clarity is there and good, versus this side that has been sanded. So all you can see is all those sanding marks throughout the whole thing. So what we're gonna do now is go ahead and grab our polish, compound polish, all that kind of good stuff. And we're just gonna do, yeah, let's just run through the whole system, all three. And then we'll leave just this one section. I'm just gonna run back and forth here. Then this will be another one, this will be another one. So we can try the 3 different pad systems, right? Koch, Chemie, Rupes, and the new Gants. And I'll do just one strip with the microfiber one to see what that achieves. Now, the tool that we're gonna be using for this is the brand new Flex 24-volt system, 5-inch backing plate, ready to go. So these things this is really gonna be like the first time I'm playing with it in real life terms. I used it at SEMA quickly. The build quality seems fantastic. One thing to note is this backing plate is a little bit different. I should change that. The piece behind the backing plate is a little bit different than others, and it is plastic, but I don't think that's gonna be an issue. As you can see, the backing plate actually screws on in 3 spots instead of just one in the spindle. So a little bit different, but this is the free spinning random orbital polisher. I have these available on my site. I have 2 left in stock, so if you guys are interested, you can go check these out. These will not be part of that sale because unfortunately there's not a lot of margin in these things. So, but anyways, let's go ahead and test this out. All right, guys, so for the polishes, like I said, we're using Koch Chemie's lineup. We have H9, the red is their heavy cut. F6 is their yellow polish, and then M3 is it's called micro finish, or micro cut, sorry. And that is their finishing. Now, typically with what Koch Chemie recommends, they typically say you don't need to do a 3-step here. 2 steps is fine. Usually you go either H9 to M3 or F6 to M3. Now, if I'm looking to do an all-in-one, they have products for that, but I will tell you the F601 finishes out extremely well. So does H9, but usually you go here last. For this sample though, for this test, we're going to be going through all 3 steps, except for the microfiber, which I have on the pad here. We're just gonna use H902 on this one. This is their heavy cut, and test it that way. All right, guys, so first up, like I said, we're just gonna do a strip here. We're gonna do a couple passes using H9 and the microfiber cutting pad from Gants. So I went and added my normal drops in the middle, added a little bit to the exterior just to saturate the pad a little bit. I'm just gonna rub it in a little bit. Start off on a lower speed. I'm actually gonna set this to 4 on my polisher, but it does have a progressive trigger. So we're just gonna start off slow, spread the product out a little bit. Good, and go ahead and get after it. All right, guys, so there is number 1. Just gonna wipe that out. Clarity is definitely coming back, but we definitely left a lot in there still. So that's interesting. So the microfiber pad is not, you can see this paint too, I can see my color here. Not the heaviest cutting microfiber pad here. With microfiber pads, you want to continually blow these out as well to keep the fiber standing up so you continually get a good cut. But let's move on. We're gonna stick with the Gants lineup. We're gonna go next to it and we're gonna start with their heavy cut. I do have to say, guys, I just removed this thing. Very, very sticky Velcro on this, so they are good. All right, so the Gants blue pad. Just gonna center it up on the polisher. Whoa, way off. There we go, perfect. Again, H902. Again, I'm gonna add just a little bit more than I normally would for that initial application. All right, next strip here, same thing. I'm gonna start off slow and then bump it up. All right, so that was a similar amount of time on this panel. I'm gonna wipe this one up, and gigantic difference with the foam over the microfiber, like gigantic. So we're gonna go ahead and keep on going on the system now. Again, in this one spot here, we're gonna switch over from the blue pad to their yellow pad, switch over from H902 compound to their F601 polish, fine cut polish from Koch Chemie. And guys, just so you can see, I'm gonna separate Look at this thing. Right? No separation, all that looks really, really good. All right, step 2, we're gonna grab a different towel to wipe this out. I gotta tell you guys, the pad feels great. It honestly feels like I'm using a Rupes pad. Like I don't feel any difference really. The surface is looking phenomenal. Other than, again, the random stuff in the paint, but let's go ahead and move on to the finishing one, and then we'll go on to the next set of pads. So the black Gants finishing pad, and we're gonna pair this with the Koch Chemie M302 polish. I don't know if you guys can see, like I was talking about with this Koch Chemie polish, like I'm not dusting like at all. I'm not overworking the product, but there's like zero dust. So that's why I love this stuff. All right, another fresh towel, just so that we don't cross-contaminate the polish and compounds within the towel, because then we'll just be spreading that back into the surface. So again, here's the sanded section. We're gonna actually walk around. Sanded section, this is the section that I hit with the microfiber pad. And you can just still see some stuff in there, right? It's just not perfect, especially if I got a detail light on it, you could really see it. But now we're gonna go over to the area that I polished out with the Gants microfiber series. Look at that, guys. You can see that strip in the middle looks unbelievable. Looks really, really good. Again, still some deeper stuff, but that is the paint's fault, not the polish, right? Or I could work it more for sure, but overall, that looks incredible. You can see, again, that top strip there with the microfiber cutting pad, better than it was for sure, but I had much more success personally with the foam pads. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the Rupes pads, exact same thing, 3 passes, or the 3-step system. I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward this through for you guys, and then I'm gonna do the Koch Chemie one as well, and we'll compare them side by side. But I'm very, very happy with that. So I mean, if you wanna stop here and say, yeah, the Gants pads are fantastic, so far, so good, man. I don't know, again, the longevity and how many cars you can get out of them is gonna be the determining factor, and I will play with these more and more over time. But here we go, we're gonna move on if you wanna see. Alrighty guys, so the test is done. Each strip got the full 3-step system, so we're gonna go ahead and inspect it now on my phone so you guys can see a bit better. But again, up top here is that first pass just with the microfiber pad. Okay, you can see it ends right here. Then we have the Gants system, 3-step, looks phenomenal, it really does. Then we have the gap here, the Rupes system, also looks phenomenal. Gap here, and then the Koch Chemie system, looks phenomenal. For me personally, I would say the Koch Chemie was the best user experience, but again, that's paired with their pad, so you have to take that, their pads paired with their compounds, so it should be the best user experience. But now we're gonna go ahead and throw a light on this thing as well, look at it a little bit more. So, all right, so there's the section that was, man, so let me turn this down a little bit. So hopefully, you're gonna have to sit, okay. So there it is, you can see some scratching and stuff around there. That's the microfiber pad. Down here, nothing to complain about there, guys. That's the Gants new polishing pads. That's a deep scratch, it's been there a long time, so you can't blame that. Looks really good. I'm gonna go, okay, that spot wasn't hit, into the Rupes. Again, looks fantastic, other than some deeper stuff like that. But all the, like, it looks phenomenal. Let me see if I can, all right, good. And then again, spot that wasn't hit, and then the Koch Chemie side. Again, looks absolutely phenomenal. Let's see here. Okay, perfect clarity in the paint. So, Koch Chemie, Rupes, Gants. So guys, there you have it. The Gants pads, other than longevity, they do a phenomenal job. I'm super happy that they finally came out with it, and the fact that they came out with a 3-inch, 5-inch, and a 6-inch, maybe even bigger, I don't know actually, but I'm pretty sure it's a 6-inch. Again, great price, $10 a pad for the 5 and 6-inch, except for the microfiber one because it's a 2-pack, so $5 a pad. And then on the 3 inches, that makes sense. The 3-inch long 2-pack of the foams are $9, and then the microfiber one I saw was a smaller pack, but it's probably doubled because they're thin, so another 2-pack. So Man, it's a good setup for sure. Now, would I go with those over the Rupes? Maybe, I don't know. The Rupes, I've loved the Rupes for a long time. They work fantastic. These are the same price essentially. I don't know, great pads. I would have no hesitation with using the Gants over anything else. They're really, really good. Now the Koch Chemies, again, they've become my favorite along with the polishes. Again, but they're made to be used together. They're phenomenal. And again, really, really nice user experience. So, but with that said, yeah, if you're ever in a pinch, you need pads, or if you're just more of a DIYer and you don't want to order pads or whatever else, go to your local Harbor Freight. They've got them now. They may still be in the back. My store, I had to ask, and they went in the back and got them for me. Awesome, awesome pads, guys. And that's really all I have to say about it. Again, we'll test longevity more and more as we go. But from the construction and everything, it feels almost identical to the Rupes pads, slightly different cut, but it feels like the same densities and all that kind of stuff. So also, guys, do not forget, comment down below, comment on my Instagram page as well for an extra chance to win. Share this video with someone for your chance to win the 3-inch polisher from MaxShine, along with a 3 units of 2 packs of the foam Gants pads. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you're subscribed, turn on that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one.